Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sarah and I do cooking, baking, and some gardening videos. So in today's video we are going to make a dessert. We're going to make sticky toffee pudding. Okay, so I have some medjool dates here. These ones are already pitted. If yours aren't pitted, you need to pit them. I have 3/4 cup of boiling water here. So we need, the recipe says 6 ounces of dates finely chopped. So that's about 8 to 10 of these. Six. Let's do 10. Okay. And then we just need to finely chop these and put them into this water here. This is one of my favorite desserts. I've only made this once before. Normally it's something I order in a restaurant. So I'm excited to make it again. I know my family is going to love it. I think the water is to help rehydrate and soften the dates. I'm trying to chop them as fine as I can here. And once they're in the water, all of them, they need to sit for about 15 minutes. I'm assuming to help rehydrate them. So we're just going to lightly chop all these. So in this recipe, you can use ramekins for the cake, for the pudding portion, or you can use it in a cake pan. I personally am going to do this in a cake pan. I think it's a little bit simpler. It's not as nice looking as a ramekin though. So if you want this for like a dinner party or something, I would do it in a ramekin. You could probably even do it in a muffin tin. Muffin tins are a little too small for what this recipe is. It said 6-ounce containers. So do keep that in mind. I'm probably going to bake this in an 8x8 pan. It says to use 8x8 or 9x9. Almost done here. Very sticky. When I was at the grocery store, they did have option to buy pitted or non-pitted. That's why I chose the pitted ones. A little bit more money, but that's okay. Okay, so we're going to let these sit for 15 minutes. While we're letting this sit, let's get ready to make the batter for the pudding. So I was reading back on my recipe and I realized that they want me to add the baking soda and the vanilla to this mixture. So we need 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda. I want us to just add it right in there. And half a teaspoon of vanilla. You know me, I like double, so I'm just going to add double. Okay. Let's just give that a little mix. Okay, we're going to let this sit for a couple more minutes before we start mixing the rest in, just so it's all cohesive. I did spray my 8x8 pan already though. Okay, these have been sitting for a while. Let's get on to the rest of the video here. So, we need about 6 tablespoons of softened butter. I'm going to put that right into my mixer here. I think that's going to be what I have left in here. Yeah. I'm just going to put the rest of the package in here. Okay, and then we need to cream this together with some regular sugar. Let me just wipe my hands here. Okay, we need 3/4 cup of white sugar. Oh, this is flour. Pull my sugar out here. Okay, so 3/4 cup. This is 1/2 cup measure. Okay, we need to whip this together until it's nice and creamy. Let's do that. I'm currently making a beef spare rib pasta. That video should be posted before this one if you want to watch it. This is going to be the dessert for tonight. Okay, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. One teaspoon of baking powder. Just mixing it right into the butter and the sugar. Okay, let me just get a spatula. Just make sure it's all nice and mixed together. Looks good. Oh yeah, that looks real good. Okay, now let's stick in, I think, the eggs. Yes, eggs. We need 2 eggs. One, 2. And we'll mix that together for a little bit. A little bit faster. I'm going to scrape the bottom here. Make sure it mixes nicely. There we go. Lift that up a little bit. Okay, now let's add in our dates. Our dates with the baking soda, vanilla, and the water. Let's give that a mix. Made the butter separate a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, so now we need to add in 1 1/4 cups of flour. 1. And 1/4. Let's mix that up and see how that looks. Okay, let me just make sure that I got it all off the bottom. Yeah, see how it's got some right on the bottom there? These mixers tend to not go right to the center of the bottom. So I always like to make sure I get them right off the bottom. Mix that in. Okay, we don't want to overmix. So let's take this off and let's put it into the pan. Okay, now I'm just going to put this right into the pan here. This looks delicious. Try to get it all off the pan here. It looks really good. So we're going to cook this for 30 minutes on 350. So I'm going to cook this in the oven 350, and yeah, then we'll make the sauce. As soon as the cake is done in the oven, the pudding, pardon me, we will make the sauce and put it all together. Okay, so the pudding just came out of the oven. Let's test it. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to let this cool and we're going to get started making the sauce. Okay, so let's make the sauce. We need half a cup of butter. Put it right in the pan here. We're just going to melt that down. I'm just going to cut it up a little. Mine's a little bit frozen. So let's melt that down. While that's melting, let's put 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. That's a quarter, or half a cup, pardon me. We need another quarter. Another quarter. We need some heavy cream. We need half a cup. This is a 1/4 cup measure, so we need 2 of these. 2. This sauce is delicious, by the way. So good. We need a pinch of salt just to balance out the sugar. And we're going to let this melt together. Stir all that together. This is very similar to the sauce that I use for, what is it for? Bread pudding. In the recipe, this is all that it calls for. I am going to add a little bit of vanilla to this, though. I think that would taste delicious. So while this is marinating, melting down, I'm going to go get the vanilla. Okay, let's stick about a teaspoon in. It gives it better flavor, really beautiful flavor. That isn't in the recipe, that is optional. So we're just boiling it. We don't want to boil it too long because we're not trying to make caramel or anything. Okay, now let's put it all together. Okay, let's cut a piece. In the recipe, this does say this makes about 6 servings, but I'm going to cut it into 9. That's that. I'm going to cut a little bit of holes on the top, just so the sauce seeps in better. That's just a preference. And I'm going to put some sauce on, like that. And this is what it looks like. Doesn't that look beautiful? Let's taste it. So for dessert, I will be putting this with vanilla ice cream. You can use whipped cream as well. So let's taste. I let it soak into the cake a little bit. The pudding. I keep calling it cake. It's so good. If you look, it's nice and moist. Nice and fluffy cake. Pudding. It's good. It'll be even better with some vanilla ice cream or some whipped cream. Oh my god, that's so good. So everybody, that is where we're going to end the video for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you make the recipe. It was delicious, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.